Looking at Schwartz's 8 categories of music video, our product conforms to what could be considered the typical music video because it's a hybrid, or one or two, a hybrid of the performance and the narrative video, with aspects of a concept video due to the continuous jellyfish motif we used, which first of all started off as a sort of more conceptual strand in our piece, but became quite a predominant theme because we felt that the jellyfish represented a lot of the fluidity and sort of abstract themes sort of present in the lyrics and a lot of the sound of the music. Our chosen defining genre is indie pop. It has some sort of psychedelia aspects, like such as sort of 60s pop music, and has which we quite transcendent, which we quite liked, and some techno aspects similar to house music. Heightened the sort of psychedelia aspects with our bold colours, and but we contrasted that. We anchored a lot of it though in natural imagery, sort of looking for a more synesthesia-like effect, which is when sort of more of one's senses merge. So emergence of more of the audio with the visual, then bold colours, sort of representing words from the lyrics. We moved away from the idea of a sort of constructed alter ego for our performer, such as how David Bowie for David Jones or Sasha Fierce for Beyonce. We felt this was important because we wanted our artists to be really authentic and to be more relatable to the audience, as well as as a role model, it's much more achievable. Rachel is going to talk to us now about the influences that we had initially for our product. So Rachel, what would you say were our major initial influences when we were researching?
Nirvana, Foxy Music, David Bowie. We all like that music. They have an androgynous appeal, which is not purely super masculine. Yeah.
We're both quite a feminine sort of in between.
Mm.
Yeah.
And we like that, and also they have a similar, same target audience that we were targeting, so we thought we were good.
What exactly was the target audience?
17 to 25, so.
So late teens, early 20s.
Late teens, early 20s, yeah.
Cool. So how come we didn't end up really going for a purely androgynous look?
Well, once we started making the video with our artist, it kind of, he suited more mainstream, more simple clothing. He didn't fit the androgynous look.
Yeah,
But the actor in it is more, because that's that more.
Yeah, because he has long hair.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But then he's still quite masculine.
Yeah, he is.
At the same time. That's true. Do you think that made them more relatable? That we decided not to make them androgynous?
Yeah, so that, because it kind of broadened our audience. So we have because it's still indie but also pop.
Yeah.
So it's more mainstream, so more people will listen to it.
That's true. And then, so Tom Milson is a real working artist. How much do you think that influenced us, if at all?
We tried to not copy him completely because we wanted to create our own artist. There were times where there were similarities between our work and his work, and there are a few videos because there's the psychedelic part, we both interpreted it the same. So there are similarities, but we didn't really kind of copy him. Try to do our own thing.
Yeah, that makes sense though, because we did start with exactly the same songs to make the same videos. It's the same style. And so overall, how far have we sort of challenged or developed conventions?
We've mainly developed conventions because we've stuck to quite a simple. This is quite a mainstream, quite simple. There's nothing too quirky or anything. So
I don't know. I'd say there are quirky parts about Adash and stuff
within the video, but I think as an artist, not not so much
Yeah.
as in the video.
That's true. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Like Rachel said, initially we were looking for an androgynous look from our actor or our performer, similar to artists such as Patti Smith, Tom York, Kurt Cobain and David Bowie. And in many aspects we kept to this, such as Calvin, who played the part of, like, not the main performer, but the narrative.
So Molly, rewind that sentence, say it all again, then you can cut it.
Okay. It's like, in many aspects we kept to this, such as Calvin, who played the main actor in the narrative, has long hair. And we were all adamant that we didn't want to cast commercially masculine boys. Tom Milsom, who wrote the song, wears extravagant makeup and like edgy clothing in the original video for Take Me Out. And we considered sort of following this and using makeup on our performers, but to be able to have the audience relate and identify to our characters, we sort of decided to have them more like plain looking and like regular teenager style clothing. We asked everyone to dress kind of summery, like in their normal clothes, all our actors, but we didn't give them a specific direction to go in, so it was more of a natural sort of scene. The mise-en-scène of our locations was very important to our video. We constantly switched between natural settings such as a park and unnatural or constructed settings with the projector or studio lighting. The natural settings continued our initial visual motif of natural imagery, and the unconventional aspect of our mise-en-scène is the decision to film our actor and performer in a home setting, a far more intimate and personal setting, which allows our audience to feel a more personal relationship with Adash and the narrative. We used some alternative videos for inspiration, like Rachel said, including Tom Milsom's original video for Take Me Out, which also uses psychedelic layer clips and fractals. When we were halfway through editing Take Me Out, Tom Milsom released another video for his song Cable Rat King, which is on the same album as Take Me Out. It surprised us because although Tom Milsom identifies as a very like alternative indie artist, the video was very similar to our version of Take Me Out, after we had decided that it was less of an alternative genre and more mainstream. The similarities between our video and Tom Milsom surprised us. The mise-en-scène, lighting and storyline are really similar. For example, Cable Rat King begins in a sort of dimly lit teenage bedroom, which was part of our original idea that didn't get put into the final video, but the first time we filmed was in a teenage bedroom with sort of fairy lights as the only form of lighting. It also uses layer clips and psychedelic effects. Our music video Digipacker website all carried the same aesthetic themes, such as colours like blue and green, which you can see in some parts of the video, like here, and in the main body of the website, as well as the Digipack. We've got a lot of natural imagery as well. We still keep all the sort of surreal imagery as well, like the jellyfish, which was also part of the psychedelic aspect of the song and the video. It was mostly used for promotion of Adash as an artist, but we also used it to add some more depth to him, such as this bio page. We've made some fake tour dates, and we're also promoting some other real Tom Milsom songs, and there are links to his Facebook, Twitter, YouTube and Tumblr, as well as iTunes. Most of the photos we used for the digipack were taken directly from a shoot we did while filming the last part of the video, just Adash lip syncing. These are some of the photos we took. So there's obviously a lot of synergy there between the music video and the website and the digipack. This is all pretty similar. If you look in the photos page of the website, there's the same photos from the music video are here. And I like how that ties in with the video. All the imagery we took was originally on our mind map, which we made right at the beginning of the project before we had any ideas about what we were going to do, and we'd just listened to the song for inspiration a few times. And so things like Adash being promoted as an isolated teenager and like playing up his teenage angst. Well, originally we were going to use the sort of angsty teenager more to our advantage, but through creating the video we sort of downplayed it a bit and made it seem more happy, which in the end I think was better than our original idea to have him more of an isolated character. These are just some of the digipack designs. You can see the progress that we made. Another thing the digipack does is it gave us more creative freedom on how to promote Adash in a more kind of static way, so we could be really intricate and sort of arty with what we were doing with it. So you can see things like this overlay of jellyfish in the top right panel, which Katie did in Photoshop, and the same with the collage of the lyrics on the left hand side. And it's the same with the website really, but the website and the digipack kind of took a different sort of theme. If you look at them side by side, they're quite similar but still in many ways very different. Like the website we tried to make more kind of accessible and clean. It's not typical of websites, which also ties in with the theme of, you know, him being an alternative artist. The way the pages move, you know, stuff. And then the digipack, it's more busy in the ways it's displaying Adash, but I think they work quite well side by side because and the video ties them both together because it's a moving image rather than just static as both of these are.
The website tries to incorporate everything that we planned in our mood board, and we use lots of things from that are also in the video. For example, most of the pages have pictures or text overlaid on top of jellyfish. We try to keep to the same colour schemes as in the video and also with the digipack, with the blues, but then certain points there are brighter colours and to reflect the psychedelic part. There are pictures, and so we try to give our artists more depth so that people could kind of basically we wanted a simple and accessible website, so we've used basic fonts mainly. I worked mainly on the website, although we all collectively came up with the ideas for it, and we tried to relate it as much as we could to the original mood board and to the video and the digipack. I think we've connected them all well. They all seem to work well. The same colour schemes throughout all of them, and they all have like similar fonts, just like simple and easy to read. We see the homepage where is the picture on the album cover in the background, and then you've got all the songs there on the album and all the links to his Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, YouTube. Tour dates are for his 2 hypothetical upcoming mini tours around the UK. We chose places where we thought that a artist like Adash would perform at. They're all reasonably small indie venues. And then created t-shirts with, they have the album cover on them, and these ones, and then tour dates.
The main inspiration for our digipack design was our music video, because we really wanted to have a great synergy throughout both our main tasks and our ancillary tasks. I started off with my initial design on paper, and you can see that I actually followed it quite directly with my actual design. So that's the CD panel. I just wanted I wanted a jellyfish sort of imagery on that, which we used there. I wanted sort of the track list, jellyfish things. And then there, the sort of idea of trees. In this design, I originally wanted the trees to be sort of obscuring an image of Adash, but instead I found it worked better with jellyfish background, and behind the jellyfish is a still from one of the opening shots in our video. This panel was actually very important because it's, with our video, one of the sort of biggest points was when we realized, like, worked out how to turn the sort of the opacity down so that we could use sort of multi-layered shots, which gave a completely different feel to our whole video. And for this, it was sort of my way of trying to reproduce that in our digipack. And how I did it was I actually magnetized. I used the magnetic lasso to like select bits of the image from a tree photo I took, and so I cut out a little, and then I put it onto a sort of transparent background so that I could then sort of put another image, which I lassoed bits out of that too, on top of it, and then I put a background image, so it sort of creates this sort of collage-like effect, which I was quite proud of. And then see here, this is a I use quite a few actually stills from either the music video and the projection here that we used to project onto Adash's face while we were filming. So that's a still that we didn't use in the final edit, but was in one of the edits before of the park, and that's from the layered, and that's the jellyfish, and behind there I said before is a still from the beginning. But around here I was sort of thinking about because lyrics and sort of writing books have always been quite important for me, but also Goodwin makes the theory about the real importance between lyrics and the visual imagery. So for this picture I used a photo that we took on set whilst filming of and then I put it onto like a plain blue background, and I used the Take Me Out lyrics but also the Cable Rat King lyrics, another one of Tom Milson's songs, so I wanted to take it a bit further because this was an album, this is for the whole album, not just Take Me Out, hypothetically. So I thought so it sort of gave them a more like pensive feel, which was important to our sort of representation of our artist. When we so the album cover, we sort of chose to use this quite abstracted image because it sort of fitted with the genre, sort of like indie, but like obscure. But we wanted to make it quite clear. We used this really bold white font, and we what we had to do was we had to crop it from an image we already had, which was obviously that's rectangular. So it sort of distorted the image slightly. So it took us we made, see that's the original image in its full, and we cropped it 3 different ways and spent a bit of time deciding which one we liked the best and what kind of font. So you can see here that we went for this crop, but we actually used that font, but that colour of the font, so it ended up being a bit of a merge. I think one of the main ways that we linked the 2 ancillary tasks with the main video was we did the same continuous colour scheme, which I think was quite effective. So here that's sort of where you can see here I'm working out the blues that I particularly liked. So like that's my favourite blue, that's Rachel's, that one was Molly's, and that one was Nora's. To sort of work out. So, and because we had this, sort of we used purples a lot as well, it sort of created quite an easy visual link for us and for the audience. For the research process of this, we all started off by looking at, we either found a CD at home or like a CD here, and just sort of dissected it really and looked at sort of what we thought was effective about it, what we didn't like about it. See, Molly's was Nevermind. I then an Icelandic band, which was less nice. Sort of an OK Computer by Rachel was probably the most inspiring of them for us as a group, because that album inside was like this, like the insert was all like collaged and really graphic like and creative, and we really liked that kind of handmade but professional look. And see, here is where we had a sort of group meeting, because although I took the lead in doing the digipack, we had lots of meetings so that we were sort of all on the same page of how we were going. And so I asked them exactly what they wanted. And here's the thing, so the theme, colour schemes, how we wanted to affect it, relate, combine them all. And then sort of psychedelia, pop, and so like Adam Schultz, kaleidoscope patterns, jellyfish, and then tone and style was like collage, which is in that panel, and sort of blue-green mixed with black and white. And so I think in regards to other album covers, what inspired me, I looked at sort of like some like basic sort of like indie genre album covers, because it was indie pop. So like Vampire Weekend, Foals, that one was quite interesting because it has the jellyfish. They're all quite sort of distorted, and that's sort of where our cover comes from. I looked at sort of psychedelia, the bold colours, and how these are 60s psychedelia posters, pretty cool, and how that could actually be inspired into an album cover. I think overall one of the main things we really wanted to about the atmosphere and tone of the ancillary that we wanted to link with them all is that we wanted to like continue the sort of symbolism of the sort of summer imagery that we use, quite an uplifting feel, but and sort of this idea of this season of like summer, spring, as being sort of an end to like teenage anxiety. but still representing this side, but sort of as sort of the end of the artist's journey. But I think what the ancillary tasks do, which go further than the main product, is that they actually give a bit more depth to the artist, whereas the music video is a bit more superficial. You see him and you can like the artist in there, but here you sort of get more idea of his character, especially on the website with all the social media links. But so here it's with all these panels dedicated. But I think and here is the Tripod Productions ident I created, and so we had sort of a hand-drawn aspect. So as well as the giving a bit more depth to the artist, it also gives a bit more depth to us as a production team. I feel like the ancillaries are a lot more personal.
What genre do you think this song is?
It's more kind of, I don't know, because it's not techno, but it's that kind of thing. But it's more kind of Disclosure, that kind of area, alternative indie music.
I'd say, well, it is, as a piece, it seems quite youthful, and the video is quite youthful. So, and it matches. It's similar to all, you know, Disclosure and stuff like that, and other artists in the sort of indie genre. So I'd say probably teens or early 20s, mid 20s.
Our audience feedback helped us to see our music video from new, detached perspectives, as well as allowing us to step back and watch it critically and objectively. It was important, as we had been working on it for so long, that we did not become too absorbed in the intricacies of editing and overlook the bigger picture, such as gaps in the storyline or continuity errors. Most of our audience feedback was by people in our audience demographic. However, on several occasions we went to both an older and a younger demographic to see if even people that we weren't specifically aiming it at would be interested in the video.
It's very summery. It's got a very relaxed, colourful sound and mood to it. So I think if, like it is now, if it was very sunny, I would be listening to it. You know, it's got a nice pace to it, and it's something I'd listen to. Yeah.
The song itself is really calm and tranquil, but gives off a kind of summer festival vibe, so I had kind of just a calm setting in my head. Yeah, again, the whole festival thing, had the kind of, you know, Indian feathers? I don't know why I had that, but just kind of hippie-ish was my kind of image.
All the audience feedback was helpful, as we wanted to know if people agreed with what we thought in terms of what the target audience should be. Since the beginning, everyone seemed to agree with the genre and the demographic group that the song and the video would both be. So we knew that the main things since the beginning that we would have to change were due to the storyline rather than having to adapt our characters or artist.
So Charlie, what were your sort of immediate reactions after seeing the video, after having heard the song previously?
Initially it was a bit strange because, you know, Adam's a great friend of mine, so it was a bit weird seeing him in that video, but I thought he matched the vibe perfectly, and the whole video matched the song fantastically, the whole sort of youthful energy, and the song's quite, you know, ambient and slightly psychedelic, yeah. And there's that whole sort of vibe going on in the video with the jellyfish and the layers, and yeah, so I enjoyed it very much.
Do you think, like you said, Adam fitted with it, but do you think he was a comfortable performer? I mean, do you think he was real, believable?
Well, I think you know, music's so easy to do now because of computers, so it's very likely that Adam could have written a song like that. I know that he couldn't in real life, but no, I thought that was certainly believable. Yeah.
And is there anything in particular that you liked about it?
I mentioned earlier the jellyfish. I love the effects that were going on there. The slightly psychedelic, colourful movements going on behind Adam's face and over his face, and all that was really good. Matched the sort of rhythm of the music very well.
During the research stage, Tumblr was a great source of images for us to use as inspiration and to further our knowledge of artists, album covers, designs, etc. Lyrics are a very important starting point for my understanding of any song and by extension its video. I use websites such as rapgenius.com and their sister websites rock.rapgenius.com and popgenius.com to help me further analyse lyrics and define obscure words and give insight into genre and artist context which I would not have known otherwise. I use websites such as YouTube and Vimeo to look up specific videos, but when I was uncertain of what to watch, I used the website randommusicvideos.com to automatically play me random music videos or from a specific genre if I wanted it, if I wanted to choose a genre, or just from a random video from across all the genres. Throughout all the stages, I use my blogger from Gmail to document my journey and various processes. I embedded documents onto my blog using the website Scribe, where I could upload documents for free. During the planning stage, we visualized our music video by creating an animatic from our hand-drawn storyboards using Final Cut Pro X, which really helped us materialize what our end result would be. We then screen tested hopefuls for our music video, practicing lip syncing and seeing who out the two was the most comfortable performer. Ultimately, we went with both. We created call sheets using tables on words, which we then shared on our main form of communication with our actors for our music video, which was a private group on Facebook, which we set up, where we could easily see all of our members and easily communicate at whatever time we wanted to with them, telling them stuff like clothing, times, and just general instructions. We also had to prepare a projected video of jellyfish using a mirrored effect on Final Cut Pro X from found videos on YouTube using a projector and a tripod with a fluid head.
This year we've all developed our digital media skills a great deal. We've used a wider range of technology such as Photoshop for the Digipack, Wix for the website, and Final Cut Pro X for editing the video, which helped us to get a better grasp on the creative control of our products. And now we have skills that are not only relevant within media studies. We were using Final Cut Pro last year, but now we're able to use it with a lot more confidence. We also used the internet far more to research this year. We used hardware such as a projector, which we used to project the jellyfish video onto Adash, a laptop, an iPhone, Canon 7D during the filming of the video, and then as well as Photoshop, Wix, Final Cut Pro, iTunes, and social media sites such as Facebook, Tumblr. We used iTunes to buy Tom Wilson songs, which we then linked on our website, and they're also purchasable from the website. We used an iPhone as well as a lyrics website during the filming of the lip sync, so that our artists could read the lyrics without it being too obvious. So we used a more robust tripod this year compared to last year as well, which also allowed us to have more control over what we were filming. It's easier to pan and move around with the one we were using this year. We also used a Sennheiser omnidirectional shotgun microphone during the filming of our Vox Pops for our evaluation. Overall, during the filming of our music video and the construction of our ancillary tasks, we used a wider range of technology and developed our skills and confidence.
For the final edit of all the evaluation questions, we used Final Cut Pro just to roughly edit everything together, and we chose some templates and title sequences just to make it look a bit more professional. Created all these different pages. We used Vistaprint. Okay, for the website we used Wix, which where you can get a website template and then just create your own website from their templates. So we uploaded images of jellyfish mainly and of Adash, and we created all these different pages. We used Vistaprint to create his t-shirts, and then we made a whole merchandise page on the website.